I'm Ken Paulson, sitting here with Delbert McClinton on board Sandy Beach's Cruise 23.
Yeah, 23.
It's an annual music festival that also known as the Blues Cruise, and it's full of R&B and pop and rock and all kinds of cool things. And this year, Delbert, in addition to celebrating his 23rd cruise, has a new album to sing
Yeah.
from, select from.
Yeah.
Is this your 19th?
God, I have no idea. I have no idea. I don't know. I couldn't begin to tell you. At least 19. I really don't know.
Well, that's probably the key to longevity, and not to.
Maybe.
So, what was the first album you did?
Oh, God, I don't know.
Oh, clearly the royalties are still coming in for that.
Well, the first one, I guess, would be the first Delbert and Glenn record.
Oh, yeah.
It was the first record that looked like it was a major release, you know.
Actually, I was a young music writer when that came out.
Were you really?
I think I reviewed that. It's got to be early 70s, right?
72,
Yeah.
3.
There you go. So, provocative title. What was this from Mass Appeal? Prick of the lid? A prick of the litter?
You should try to name something these days. Anything.
Yeah.
A band, an event, anything. Somebody's already got it.
Yeah.
And we were sitting on the bus one night talking about titles for this, and somebody said, "Pick of the litter." And Bob Britt says, "How about Prick of the litter?" And we all just said, "That's it.
That's it." Bob brings a lot of class to the band.
He does. An awful lot of class.
So this record, I'll still call it a record, uses your touring band.
Yes.
Is that a departure for you?
No, I've been doing that for several years. Yeah. Most of the 90s, yeah, all of the 90s, that was another band, but it was the band I was working with. Yeah. But this band right now is the best. I mean, overall, the place that we've come to with this, and all the guys in it, we are all having such a good time with this, playing music together that you just, someday it will surely come to an end, but right now it's roaring.
As long as you don't count the albums, you'll be okay.
No kidding.
I was struck by the range on the new album. There's you've got a great fan base, a loyal fan base, and there's a certain Delbert style they would expect. But this is it is that, but it also, I was struck, a lot of the songs, if you told me this is a song written in 1939 that we've just unearthed, I would buy that. You know? I mean, it's got a classic popular music sound to a lot of it.
Well, we were trying to we wanted to write some new classics, and I think we did.
Yeah.
I do.
I was struck by like "Lovin' Used to Be" was one
love that song.
That really struck me as not dated but timeless.
Timeless. I agree.
And its orientation.
I agree. That's everybody in the band. That's our favorite song.
Yeah. It jumps out at you.
Yeah.
Lyrics that jumped out at me though on another cut. The way I make a living is a little like committing a crime. Was that confessional?
Well, it in a way, I guess, because it kind of is. I mean, I'm the luckiest guy in the world, I've spent a lifetime doing what I want to do, and I think getting better at it. And it sometimes seems a bit criminal.
So, not knowing fully, your publicist, by the way, thinks it's 19 so far. So, if you have 19 albums, how do you make sure that the new one is fresh and different and excites you and the band?
Well, you do your best. That's what you do. And I sat down with Bob before we started doing this and told him, what I wanted to do. We had all been working together for at least about 5 years, and the band was just, we had a lot going on, and had a lot of spiritual energy in working together. This was something that that everybody got in on, which is a hard thing to get anybody in on anything that's so cohesive as to make us feel the way we do when we play it. So it's just I don't know, it's magic.
Right.
It's just magic.
So I know you had a co-write at least on most of the tracks on the
Yeah.
album. Who did you co-write with?
Well, I wrote with the guys in the band mostly. I wrote with Bob Britt, Mike Joyce, and Kevin McKendry, and Glenn Clark, a friend of mine. And those are the guys were the ones that wrote the record.
There's early on in the album, there's a female guest vocalist.
Oh, it's Lou Ann Barton.
Oh, okay.
Lou Ann Barton. You're not familiar with Lou?
I'm not familiar.
Okay, well, she worked with Jimmy Vaughn in the Thunderbirds
Okay.
a lot.
All right.
And she still goes out with Jimmy Vaughn. And Lou Ann is part of Texas, you know, and she's got this unique voice, and she's been singing the blues as long as I can remember. And when I wrote that song, I knew we were going to have a female for that part. And once again, Bob says, "Let's get Lou Ann." Perfect.
So we're well past the time when you'd have to pick out a single. You don't do that anymore in the business.
No, you
but
don't.
if you had to pick one, is there something?
I can't pick out a single. You know, I've never. These songs are all so personal, or you know, that it depends on the mood I'm in as far as what my the best would be or my favorite.
Yeah, I would think it'd be interesting when you've got a great body of work and you've got some songs you kind of feel like you've got to do all the time, and every new album you introduce 12 new songs to your repertoire. What are the ones that stick around? What makes the cut?
Oh, I don't know. The ones that are the most fun to play, I guess, you know. Which all of these songs on this new record are fun to play. So I don't know. This is. You're asking me questions I don't have answers for.
Well, you did "Don't Do It" the other night with huge brass sound to it. That has to be a lot of fun to do.
Oh God, yeah, man. Yeah. Yes, it is.
Well, thank you for your time. The new one comes out. Prick of the Litter comes out January 27th.
27th, yeah.
And independently released.
Right.
What's the difference between?
Well,
that?
it's with 30 Tigers,
Right.
and 30 Tigers they're making more waves than anybody. The music record business has changed so completely and totally that I don't understand anything at all about it. So you do a deal with 30 Tigers, and then they furnish any kind of thing you want as far as promotion.
Right. And you have a lot more freedom as an artist when you don't have a major label
Complete
telling you
freedom.
what to do.
Complete freedom.
Well, thank you for your time. January 27th, Prick of the Litter.
Well, Ken, thank you. I appreciate it.